but there's crisis coming to this country. Fuel, petrol will be one of the causative agents of revolution in Nigeria because we can't explain it. Why we continue to import finished product in a country that has 4 refineries plus this new one of a private one, and yet we are talking about, importing fuel. Something must be fundamentally wrong.
So guys, welcome back again to my channel. Yes, crisis will hit Nigeria so hard because the basic necessity of mankind is very expensive. Petrol is very expensive, and if petrol is expensive, every other thing follows. And this government is doing as if they're not showing concern about this issue of hardship in Nigeria. But what is coming to them will be very massive. The revolution that is coming to Nigeria will hit the government so hard that they will regret why they did not attend to the plea of the nation. Let me guys hear what this man said and how it dissected Nigeria's problem. Watch this video, guys.
Let's begin with the efforts to get the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, out of incarceration. What's the update on that?
Well, it's a topic I'm very passionate about, very, very. I had seen him in the DSS cell 2 times, and each time it was a very emotional moment for both of us. I've been with him in the court premises, about 2 or 3 times, and I've spoken there. We had a joint press conference on one occasion. I don't know why. I think it's something you can summarize as hate. And you can't find a reason for the hate other than making reference back to Muhammad Buhari's period, who organized and arrested him in Kenya. He must have a special reason why he did what he did, because other people had the same problem. There's a young man who was also arrested in Benin Republic or so, and later came back here after Buhari left office. But if Boko Haram people, bandits who regularly kill people in this country, have been given amnesty by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and in some cases rehabilitate them, why hold Nnamdi Kanu, who had publicly assured government, if you let me go, I will help you increase security in the southeast and any other part you might require my services? They would have taken a risk on that. But as we speak, they are still granting amnesty to Boko Haram people who kill hundreds of people on a regular basis. Why hold him? Do you remember when last you heard of somebody dying in the southeast because of Nnamdi Kanu? That's a long time ago. And people were doing it, as a way of making money, using his name. And he said that severally. On one occasion, he told me to speak on his behalf, and on this platform, I said so. So a government alone can explain, especially for somebody like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who himself was a revolutionary in some sense. He understands what freedom means. He understands what democracy means because he fought for it. I don't know where he's coming from now. It's difficult to explain where he's coming from, honestly.
All right, Chief, let's go to the End Bad Governance protest that just, happened recently. And we understand the Southeast didn't join in this protest. Is it true that the Southeast observed sit at home and preferred that to joining the protest? And I'm asking this because even the release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of the demands of the protesters, but the Southeasterners just chose not to join that protest. Why?
Well, before I get to answering that, sometimes it's good to look at the antecedents of people in government. And I put my mind back to 1960 from America, from JFK to Johnson to Nixon to Ford to the Peanut president to Reagan to Bush Sr., to Clinton, to Bush Jr., to Obama, and then down to Trump, then Biden now. None of them has been it's either you're a senator or a governor. At least I made back to 1960. This is the first time in this country and in the world that you see people coming to power. He was a legislator. Our president, Ahmed Tinubu, was a senator of the Federal Republic and 8 years governor of Lagos State. His vice presidential candidate was a senator of the Federal Republic and 8 years governor of Borno State. His wife, the first lady of this country, was a senator of the Federal Republic. The chief of staff of this government was Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. So they come with superlative attributes of legislative and executive reference. And in fact, you can also extend it to the fact that they have also captured the judiciary. So what is their problem? It is difficult to explain what their problem is because people are demonstrating. Is it that people are not hungry? I'm hungry. When I declared myself hungry, hitherto when I go to my town with X amount of money, apart from, buying cola nuts and drinks for people who visit me, I now go with sufficient amount of money because people who were not asking me for help were not asking for help. And I regard my community as, you can't count 5 towns in this country without counting my town, where we had a good, successful middle class. But there is so much problem. If there could be so much problem at Nnewi, then many other towns must be in trouble. So why they should have ordinarily set up a committee to identify why did these young men protest? What were they protesting? And they itemized their reasons. And we could see the government making every serious effort to infiltrate them. You tear gas to your citizens. You kill them because they protested. Is that leadership? For a man who led protests in this country against a government, a democratically elected government, and you're doing exactly the same. Sometimes I doubt if there is hope. I'm not one of those who spread, malignant pessimism against Nigeria, no. I believe there is hope for the future, but what I'm seeing now does not offer hope for the future.
And to my question.
Sorry?
As to why the Southeast didn't join but
observed.
Well,
why should you think the South issues? We're already an occupied territory. If we had raised that is why they war in or fight against terrorism in Northeast and Northwest. It's not working because more than 20% of the Nigerian armed forces are in the Southeast. Every inch of the ground is occupied. You cannot run more than 20, 30 kilometers anywhere in the Southeast without 2 or 3 checkpoints. Army, police, Air Force, and if you go further down, then the Navy joins them. And I personally advise, I have a network, say, don't you dare. Because what happened in 1973 as I was leaving the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, that was the second graduation after the Civil War. They introduced this National Youth Service Corps. I was the first set of National Youth Service Corps. And the whole university said, we'll burn down the university. Why am I that? They are now doing it to increase the years of suffering of the Igbos. That the 2.5 years of the war was not enough. They now want to add us extra year. And a military officer, who incidentally was not Igbo, a Northerner, called me and said, 1 year, if that is the sacrifice your people will make for the stability of Igbo land, you can afford to do it. Don't allow any blood to be shed here. And at the Freedom Square, I got up. Then Professor Linya was the vice chancellor. I got up and spoke to the students, and everybody walked away. And we went for youth service. Where are we today? Every other part of this country, they are doing youth service. But it was actually directed for a particular people. And we refused to bow. So I told people, if you don't have need to demonstrate, we're already where we are. There are Igbos across this country who joined the demonstration, and you saw them on television, on your network, speaking in Kaduna, in Lagos, Ibadan, every other place. But in Igbo land, I said no. Because when they open fire there, it will be disastrous. So I thank God that we didn't join, at least at home. But we expressed interest and support outside Igbo land.
Chief, you've watched that video, you've watched the warning to the government that what is coming is bigger, because a civilized country or a country where the leaders have the citizens in mind would have come out to meet at least one demand of the citizens. But guess what? The government have not addressed even one out of the many listed for them, because they said that they need to reduce the price of petrol. And they've heard it from Dan Ulasi that what will bring revolution in this country is the price of fuel, number one, because it's too much. How can somebody be going from a short distance and be paying a huge amount of money, like 500 naira, for a short distance? And you can't blame the drivers, because the price of petrol is too much, and that's why everything is high in this country. So I think if they don't address this, it might bring to what they say revolution, and the revolution is not good for a country like Nigeria, because Nigeria is too big for that, and the government is not bigger. The government is not bigger than the country, than the citizen, because you have how many tribes in Nigeria? Lots of people. You have the Igbos, the Yoruba, the Hausas, the Fulanis. Imagine everybody coming together to fight the government. It will be so massive and destructive. Also, Remember, guys, end of this video in the comment section about the video you watched, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay tuned, guys.